All right. I am trying to figure all this out, folks. So give me a little bit of grace here as I try and figure all this out. I'm actually working to do different live videos on different formats all at the same time. So I'm working on this and trying to make it happen, and so that we have valuable content that has meaning for you and that will encourage you, inspire you, enrich your life, as a matter of fact. And my hope is that in a small way, maybe even um, uh, transform your life in some way. So what I have here is I'm streaming right now on Facebook, on Instagram, up there on that my TV, my this one right up here is my Instagram camera, and right down here in my eye level is my is my Facebook and YouTube, and all those at the same time. So I'm getting the hang of something, folks. You know what I mean? I'm actually trying to learn something new and make a difference that'll make a difference, and hopefully you make a difference in your life as you begin to transform and encourage and inspire others in your walk. So Dr. Rick Marks is welcome to what I'm calling the mindset of maturity. What is the mindset of maturity? I mean, a lot of my work is in the area of healthy, strong, intimate relationships. And we want to be able to have relationships that encourage and inspire others. We don't want to have relationships that tear down, demean, those kind of things. I mean, think about it this way. For those, let's say, who are married, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're tearing them down, belittling them over time, it just begs the question, what'd you marry that person for? I thought you married them for all the valuable things they had. But then sadly, over time, we start just focusing on all the negative things in their life, and like, oh, don't they have any good thing left in their life? I mean, my goodness. And so, we have to be intentional about intimacy. We have to be intentional about healthy relationships. And one of the things that we do at Relate Well is we actually spend our time in focus teaching singles, high schoolers, adults, be it single or married, how to have healthy, mature, loving, intimate relationships. I didn't grow up with that, and I didn't know it myself. I kind of had to learn it. No, I didn't I had to learn it in my late 20s, early 30s. I'm 59 now, by the way. And so if you really want to have healthy, intimate relationships, then you got to become a healthy, mature adult. Because mature adults can produce healthy, mature relationships. Immature adults cannot produce healthy, mature relationships, right? And we are all created for healthy, intimate relationships. The brain is a social organism, if you will. It must bond emotionally and connect in healthy, mature ways. And when it doesn't, it's in pain, relational pain. And whenever your brain's in pain, it wants to avoid the pain and pursue pleasure. It's just what the brain does. And so if you're in an unhealthy relationship where you're belittled and put down, then your needs for feeling valued, your need for acceptance, your need for approval, your needs for attention aren't being met. And when those core relational needs aren't met, you're going to be in pain. You're going to feel rejected. You're going to feel abandoned. You're going to feel unapproved. You're going to feel unaccepted, right? And that's painful. Nobody wants to feel that. Your brain doesn't want to feel it. So what the brain does, it avoids pain and pursues pleasure. Problem is, it usually does it in unhealthy and immature ways. So a lot of our work is in the area of maturity. Maturity. What does it mean to be a healthy, mature adult? So I'm telling this talk today, the mindset of maturity. The mindset of maturity. So first, I'm going to talk about what is an immature mind. Is that all right? I'm going to talk about what is an immature person and what does the immature mind look like, all right? And so if you want, here's a time for you to, get out a pencil and paper, or the note section on your iPad screen or whatever it is you want to write on. And we're going to kind of go through some points for what is an immature mind versus what is a mature mind. All right. So we'll give the immature list first. Number one, immature people live only in what they know. They only live in what they know. They know what they know and they don't want to know anymore. You see, and they're not teachable. They're not open to input. They're not open to correction. Because in their world, I already know everything and you can't teach me anything. Kind of like teenagers, isn't it? Adolescents, you try and correct them or give them input or feedback. Their brain takes it as an attack or criticism on their who they are or what they think. Problem is, our knowledge base is very, very minute. And we really don't know much based on all the knowledge that exists out there in the world. And immature people aren't willing to accept they don't know much. So they live only in what they know. Now, the downside of that is since they only live in what they know, and then what they know in their mind is going to be right, then everybody else is going to be what? Wrong. It's real simple. It's immaturity, you see, because the mature mindset is open to the things they do not know. Get that? They're open to the things that they do not know. In other words, mature people are teachable. They understand there's a lot of things I don't know. And by the way, there's a lot of things I don't know that I don't know. Does that one get you? Kind of works this way. Before you heard my name, saw my name, or saw me, you did not know that you did not know me. And because you did not know that you did not know me, you did not know that I existed. But the moment you heard about me or saw me or however you gained knowledge of me, in the moment you gained knowledge of me, in that moment, I was no longer somebody you didn't know you didn't know. I'm actually somebody that you know you don't know. Now, after our 30 minutes together, you may not want to know me, but that would be a different conversation. All right. So here it goes. Immature people live only in what they know, but mature people are open to the things they do not know. They understand there's a possibility for another way of thinking. They understand there's more than one perspective of one issue, you see, and they're open to those things. They're open to the possibility that they could be wrong. To live in that mode of the mature mindset, being open to what you don't know, that's maturity. These people are actually pretty strong people. They own their own mind. They're not ruled by fear. They don't have a need to be in control. They don't need to be known. They don't need it. They don't need to be a know-it-all. Why? Because they understand to live that way is actually immature anyways. They're comfortable in knowing that there's things they know and the things they don't know. The immature person doesn't want to deal with what they don't know. They don't want to know what they don't know because what they know is enough already. So the first trait of the immature person is they live only in what they know. All right. The second one is that immature people basically have good or bad, black and white thinking. This is good. This is not good. This is black. This is white thinking. All right. It's this or this. This or this. I'm right or you're wrong. It's not that you both could be right based on your perspectives. It's I'm right, so you're wrong. And because they're so black and white in their thinking, they're afraid of the muddy gray out there, you see. Because to move to the gray is where a lot of life is, as a matter of fact, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of gray out there in life. I'm sure there's black and whites and right and wrong thinking. I got that. But here, notice, at least for me, a lot of things in life aren't right or wrong. They're just differences in perspectives. They're just differences in perspectives. But here's the other thing I learned. They're not just differences in perspectives. They're also differences in preferences. This person prefers chocolate. That one prefers vanilla. This one prefers this kind. This one prefers that kind. Mature people are growth oriented thinking. And because they're growth oriented, they don't get caught into black and white arguments. Because to think black and white, right or wrong, good, bad, you're not really growth oriented. It's one or the other. But to be growth oriented, you have to recognize that it may be neither, or it could be both and. In other words, it's like in the book Crucial Conversations. They always say, look for the elusive and, A and D. In other words, when you live in this or this is a way of thinking, black and white, good, bad, right, wrong, this truck or that truck. Either I correct you and lose you, or I don't correct you and keep you. Black and white, this or. But what if you put in the word and? Is it possible to have this truck and that truck? Is it possible for you to speak up and not lose them? You're the elusive and. That's growth-oriented thinking. That means you're open to new learnings. You're open to new possibilities, new interpretations. That's the power of mature thinking, being growth-oriented. Immature, it's black and white, good or bad, right or wrong, frick or frack, right? Chivas or Eagle. Growth-oriented means I don't know everything, and there's a lot I don't know, but I know that if I learn and I'm willing to think outside of the box, if you will. I'm willing to think outside the box. And sometimes out of the box thinking can be scary. It can be scary, particularly when your whole life has been structured around right or wrong, good or bad. You might find out that there's a lot of gray out there, but sometimes in the gray, it's not a bad place, I found out. Because in the gray, I'm open to new learnings. I learn new things. I experience new things, and I can see the world differently. New perspectives. Number 3, the immature person views failure as an indication of one's limits. In other words, whenever you fail, that failure, whatever it is you did, the project you didn't work on or whatever it is, you view that failure as an indication that you've gone as far as you can go, that you can't go anymore, that you're limited now, and you can't do anything else. Where the mature mindset doesn't go that path. The mature mindset sees failure as an opportunity to learn. It sees failure as an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow, to expand one's knowledge base, to expand one's horizon. In the personal development field, there's a phrase that says, and every failure is the seed of an equivalent success. The idea being that people who are failures see things as one's limit, thus they quit, they give up. I mean, what really makes a person a failure? Not failing. Just because you failed at something, that doesn't make you a failure. A lot of people fail at things. Entrepreneurs understand that failure is a part of life. It's a part of business. People say, Donald Trump's a failure. This person's a failure. That person's a failure. How can they be failures? Well, his school didn't work, or that person's project over here didn't work. Okay. Why do those people have so much money? Why are they so successful in all the other areas of life? Look, what makes a person a failure isn't that they failed at things. All entrepreneurs know that you're going to fail at things at times. That's a part of living. That's a part of life. But what entrepreneurs know is this, that in every failure, there is a seed of an equal or equivalent success out there in that failure. What they do is they study the failure, they learn from it, and they find that little seed. They find that seed of new learning, new information, new way of thinking, and they take that seed and replant it somewhere else, and they become very, very successful in life. Very successful in life. And so you begin to realize then that immature people, because they're mature, not teachable, they're not willing to move forward in life, they're going to see failure as a that this is it. I'm no good. This is all I can do. Mature people see failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, to 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 experience new things, and to move on from what they failed in to go create success somewhere else. All right, next, immature people don't see challenges as a value. You see, immature people, when they're challenged, be it in personal growth, challenge in life, challenge in relationships, they see those as obstacles. Those see those frustrations. Sometimes they see those critiques about themselves. Sometimes they see those as I'm not good enough, or you don't love me, or what's wrong with me. All right. That's just the way they see the challenges. When you're challenged or critiqued to be a better person, your brain can't see it that way. All right. But mature people value challenges, they value them. They understand that challenges make me a better person. Challenges also show me my weaknesses. You see, mature people understand that they're not perfect and that they do have blind spots. And sometimes the challenges in life teach us things about ourselves that we don't know about ourselves. They give us new insights into ourselves, new understandings of how we come across and how we're perceived. The power of living a mature life is that when challenged, when critiqued, right? When someone says, hey, can I make an observation? They're open to that. I think about it this way. Immature people are bothered when their trustworthiness is criticized, challenged. Mature people aren't bothered when you question their trustworthiness. Why? Because trustworthy people are trustworthy. And if you challenge a trustworthy person's trustworthiness, they're not going to be bothered by that. Why? Because they're trustworthy. So they'll say something like, wow, so I did not realize you didn't trust me. Help me understand what I've done. They would send you that message, so I can undo it. Why do they go there? Because they're trustworthy. They'll just earn it. Immature people are bothered by it. All right. Now, next on the list here is that immature people view feedback, where mature people, right, value feedback. Mature people value the feedback that they get. Mature people understand that giving feedback is healthy, or getting feedback is healthy. I said it earlier that emotional adolescents in particular, right? Adults who are chronologically still an adolescent at the emotional level, emotional adolescent, or we call adolescent adults in our work, um, they're bothered when you criticize, redirect, correct, whatever, because their brain hears it as an attack against their autonomy, against their independence.